Hey, welcome to Next Gen Manufacturing Nexus. You know that one problem, the one you fix and then you fix it again and it just keeps coming back? Well, today we are done with patching things up. We're going to talk about how to stop that cycle for good.
I mean, think about it. You see an issue on the line, you slap a fix on it, and everything seems okay for a bit. But then, boom, a week later, maybe a month, it's back. It's this constant firefighting, right? You're just treating the symptoms, not the actual disease. And let's be real, it is exhausting and it is totally inefficient. So if you are sick and tired of just putting Band-Aids on huge problems, then you are definitely in the right place.
So how do we break this cycle? Well, it takes a real shift in thinking. We've got to stop just reacting to what we see on the surface and start digging deeper to find out what's really going on underneath. And that, my friends, is the whole idea behind something called root cause analysis, or RCA for short. Okay, so what is RCA? Think of it like being a detective. It's a structured investigation, a process for pushing past all those obvious surface-level symptoms to find out where the system truly broke down. We're not looking for a quick fix here. This is all about finding a permanent solution, one that makes sure this problem never ever happens again.
And this right here is absolutely critical. It points to a massive cultural shift. See, effective RCA is not a blame game. It is never, ever about finding a person to point the finger at. It's about understanding the process breakdown. The focus has to be on the how and the why something failed. When you do that, you create a culture of improvement, not a culture of fear.
All right, so knowing what RCA is, that's step one. But actually applying it, that's the real challenge. So let's talk about one of the most powerful blueprints out there for doing just that, the 8D problem-solving process. You can think of it as your step-by-step playbook for hunting down and eliminating those root causes for good. Yeah, and this 8D process, it's got some serious street cred. It was actually born in the super demanding world of automotive manufacturing, at Ford, way back in the 80s. They developed it to tackle these huge, complex quality issues. But you know what? The logic behind it is so solid that it's been adopted by pretty much every industry you can think of, from tech to healthcare. It's really become the gold standard for quality improvement. Now I know, 8 disciplines might sound a little intimidating, but trust me, it's actually pretty simple when you break it down. It really just comes down to 3 main phases. First, you plan and contain. This is where you get your team together, you figure out exactly what the problem is, and you stop the bleeding with a quick, temporary fix. Next up, you find and fix. This is the fun part, the deep dive where you uncover that root cause and put a real, permanent solution in place. And finally, you prevent and praise. This is all about making sure the fix is locked in so it can't happen again, and, this is important, celebrating the team that made it happen.
Okay, let's zoom in a bit. We're going to focus on the absolute heart of the AD process, which is Discipline 4. This is it. This is where the real detective work begins, where we really get our hands dirty and start uncovering that root cause.
So, the million-dollar question. How do you actually find the real root cause? I mean, how do you cut through all that noise, all the symptoms, to get to the true source of the issue? Well, the good news is, you don't have to just guess. There are some incredibly powerful tools designed for exactly this kind of investigation.
First up in our toolkit is the Fishbone Diagram. You might also hear it called an Ishikawa diagram. Basically, it's your visual brainstorming map. Imagine a fish skeleton. The head of the fish is the problem you're trying to solve. Then you and your team brainstorm all the potential causes, and you group them into different categories that become the bones of the fish. It's a seriously fantastic way to get every single possibility out on the table so you can see it all at once.
And to give that brainstorming some structure, especially in manufacturing, we often use the 5 M's as our main categories, or our bones. So you ask your team, could this problem be related to manpower, people stuff like training or experience? Could it be the machine, the equipment itself? Maybe it's the method, the process we're following. Or is it the material, the raw components we're using? And finally, what about measurement? Are our inspection tools or data giving us bad info? Using these 5 M's makes sure you're looking at the problem from literally every angle.
Okay, so your fishbone diagram is full. You've got this whole universe of potential causes mapped out, but which one is the real culprit? Now we need a tool that lets us drill down to peel back the layers of the onion one by one until we hit the absolute core.
And for that, we bring in the 5 Whys technique. Now, this one sounds almost too simple, but it is unbelievably powerful. You just state the problem, and then you ask why. over and over again. Look at this example. The problem is I have a headache. Okay, why? Because my head hit the ground. Why? Because I was tackled and I wasn't protected. See where this is going? Why wasn't I protected? I wasn't wearing a helmet. Why not? There weren't enough available. And the final, critical question, why weren't there enough? And there it is, because of a purchasing process failure. Boom! That is the root cause. The headache is just a symptom. The real problem, the thing you can actually fix, is the purchasing process. That's the game changer.
All right, finding that root cause feels amazing, right? It's a huge milestone. But hold on. The job is not done yet, not even close. The real payoff, the thing that makes all this work worth it, is what you do next to make sure that solution is locked in for good.
And a key part of this is understanding the two types of actions you're going to take. Early on, remember back in Discipline 3, you put an interim containment action in place, an ICA. Think of this as the quick Band-Aid. Its only job is to stop the bleeding right now. But the real goal, the main event, is the permanent corrective action, or PCA. This is the real deal. It's the fully tested, validated permanent fix that goes straight to the heart of that root cause you worked so hard to find.
And when you really commit to this way of thinking, the benefits are just massive. You're not just putting out one fire, you're fireproofing your entire system. We're talking about a drastic reduction in defects, a huge jump in quality, and way happier customers. You're not just fixing problems anymore, you're building a smarter, stronger, and much more agile operation from the ground up.
And we have to talk about the final step, Discipline 8, because it's so easy to overlook, but it's so important. You have to acknowledge the team's hard work. Seriously, celebrating that win, congratulating the people who solved the problem, that's what builds that amazing culture of continuous improvement. It validates all their effort and shows everyone in the organization that this process works. It's how you turn a one-time fix into a permanent problem-solving capability for your whole team.
So I'm going to leave you with a question to chew on. Think about your own work, right now, your production line, your daily processes. What is that one nagging symptom that just keeps popping up over and over again? You know the one I'm talking about. Maybe, just maybe, it's time to stop patching it up and finally start asking why.